question on everybody's lips is that are these low attendances so far just because fans do not really care about this revamped Club World Cup? Or is it a case of the timings that we saw last night? Just 22,000 watched Chelsea beat Los Angeles FC. That crowd for Boca's Group C game against Benfica, as Gabby alluded to earlier, later in the day, was a lot healthier with more than 55,000 there. FIFA claims 60,927 watched the opener between Inter Miami and Al Hilali. While the official crowd for PSG 4-0 win over Atletico was 80,619. So the question, I suppose, has it gripped you yet, Gabby? Has it caught your imagination?
Listen, I was excited to watch the PSG game. Yeah, loved that game. I thought PSG were fantastic. Vitinha, Ruiz, the usual suspects for that team. Yeah. Hakimi, Mendes had Carrera when he come on in his pocket. But the other games, Bayern Munich winning 10-0 against part-timers last night. I mean, LA Galaxy, no competition really for Chelsea last night. And I'm looking at some of the fixtures we've got this week, mate.
LAFC, not Galaxy.
I can't even pronounce some of the names, mate. I'm looking at them and I'm like,
well, that's not hard.
You've got Wydad, Casablanca, Olsen, HD versus Manalodi, Jundaus. Joe, some of the teams that fans aren't going to go and pay their hard-earned money, £40 a ticket to go and watch it. The timings wouldn't matter if it's a World Cup. Next year, the timings won't matter. Yeah, doesn't matter the time you are anywhere in the world. You will watch the World Cup. You'll stay awake. You'll set your alarm. But for this tournament, you're not gonna. Yeah,
I think it's difficult because obviously you're talking about countries, aren't you? That are obviously trying to. You're gonna have a large portion of people going to turn up just to be there, say they're a World Cup representing their country. I just thought that the time change yesterday to make it 3 p.m. local time in Atlanta was mental. In the week, you've got people at work, people at school, of course, and expecting people to just turn up. We've got a few people that have sent some messages in. Liam, the Chelsea fan, I just thought I'd highlight you, mate, because personally I think you're talking nonsense. Why are Gabby and Troy playing down Liam Delap's performance when the earlier breakfast was praising him? Contradiction on the show. It's called two different shows and two people with different opinions. Anyway, if you want to get involved, then please get involved. The lines are open. What do you think to this? The Club World Cup is in full swing. If you want to get involved, then please, get involved. You know what to do. Has it gripped your opinion? Is it all a waste of time? Chelsea fans, winning this is a question. Would winning this be bigger than winning the Conference League for Chelsea? Would you reckon?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think you'd rather win the Conference League, but if you go and beat a River Plate, you beat a Man City, a PSG, Real Madrid to get to winning this competition, there's an argument, isn't there?
And 100 million at the end of it.
Exactly, the prize money is going to be a lot more than the Conference League. But some of this, I look at, mate, and are they rotating players during this tournament? I don't think we have to see. We have to judge it at the end and see how competitive the games are.
No, absolutely. And, if you want to get involved, 03717 223344 is a number to get involved this morning. Let's get the thoughts of someone who is out in the States. Good morning to Chelsea TV host Alex Harris. How are you, Alex?
Good morning, Alex.
Good morning. How's it going, guys?
All well, mate.
Are you not knackered, bud?
I don't know why I said yes to this. It's 2 a.m.
How you doing, mate? How's it been out in the States so far? I'm coming out there next month as well, so let me know what's happening.
Oh, do you know what? It's brilliant. I'll be honest with you. It's a different world. I went when I was very young to the States. It feels like it's the first time I'm coming out here. I'm literally opposite the stadium right now. I'm just in the hotel opposite the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And before I talk about the game, you just have to look at the experience as a whole. And I'd be lying to you if I said it wasn't fantastic. It's brilliant. There's a thing called Southern hospitality. Yeah. So I don't know why, but apparently around this part of America, people are just a lot nicer. So I have been warned that going to Philadelphia and a lot of these other places, it won't be the same. But people have just been so nice. Still quite not really used to tipping culture out here. I don't know the whole 20-25%.
Stop being tight, mate. You're making loads of dough now on YouTube. Come on.
I've had a lot of arguments about that already, but so far it's been okay. It's worth paying for. But I mean, in terms of the game and the stadium itself, you're absolutely right. I do think it's embarrassing that you can only get 22,000 fans, and the stadium capacity is over 70,000, So this is the equivalent of Old Trafford in Atlanta. And people can't make it, and there's a number of reasons for that. And the first one is it's a Monday at 3 o'clock in America when they have the game kicking off, and some of the prices for these tickets as well, it's just not affordable. So you've got regular people out here that have work, and I honestly think would take the time off. But a lot of people, I think, are being priced out. I spoke to some of the locals yesterday outside the ground. And they said, well, it's just a bit silly, really, what FIFA have done, because they did drop the ticket prices numerous times. But for me, we were having chats inside the stadium. We were comparing it to Baku in Azerbaijan when we played the Europa League final against Arsenal. And what they did in that game, because it was empty, at half time, they started letting in fans for free because they didn't want to be embarrassed in terms of the lack of tickets they were able to sell. Now, I'm not saying that America needs to go in that direction with what's happening, but they could have done, discounted rates. They could have done something with the local schools in order to get people inside that stadium. And I think that would have given it a much better perception as well to people at home watching. I got messages from people saying it looks terrible, and it did to an extent. We were outsung by about 500 LAFC fans, and there was probably 15,000, 20,000 Chelsea. So, I mean, that's the reality of it. But was it a good time? Yes, but totally different to anything you'd expect in the Premier League or anything like that.
Yeah, Alex, two quick questions. One's a quick one, and the second one is a longer answer for you, I reckon. The stadium is unbelievable. Can you just give people a little bit of a heads up on just how incredible, immaculate these stadiums are? And then secondly, I just asked Gabby, I don't know if you heard, would winning this competition be bigger than winning the Conference League in your opinion?
Well, in terms of the stadium and the experience, it is pretty much what you would expect in America. You walk in, there's usually in Stamford Bridge, I can't really hear the music from inside the stadium. Totally different. You can't get away from the music in there. So if you want to find a quiet spot to chat, absolutely impossible. I was surprised that they weren't selling any popcorn in the stands. I thought they'd have someone walking up and down. They didn't actually have that, so that was a shock. In terms of winning the competition, though, I do think it would be bigger than the Conference League, to be honest with you. I think that that there is more incentive to win the Club World Cup now than ever before. I like the new format. I really do. I know that in terms of the schedule, I probably agree with the players and the managers that are upset. But at the same time, you don't have to do this every year. This is every 4 years, and then you don't have to worry about it. So, there is hype for this competition, and the financial incentive is so great that you'd have to say it probably is worth it to a lot of the clubs. So as much as, players are going to be tired, if you stick some good bonuses in there, then it will be worth their time. And I think as well with FFP, PSR, it's the age of balancing the books now with a lot of modern football teams. Sometimes you need a competition like this to just ease some of those woes.
Yeah, Alex, one final question before we head to the break. We were talking a little bit earlier about Nicolas Jackson and his reaction to coming off to Delap. We feel, me and Gabby, I think I'm speaking for both of us in the right way here, that's a problem that is a good problem for Chelsea that they have two number 9s. But in terms of balancing two number 9s who expect to start, do you see that becoming a problem for Maresca long term?
Well, I don't really look at Nicolas Jackson and see a guy who's worthy of starting every week as a number 9, not in a disrespectful way, but he's not good enough for Chelsea to start week in, week out as a number 1.
But does he think that, Alex?
Sorry?
But does he think that?
Well, it doesn't matter what he thinks. He's not good enough. He's not scoring enough goals. That's the reality of it. And Delap he's a finisher. This and a lot of Chelsea fans will still tell you it's still not good enough with what we have. Delap's a good player. I like Delap. I think he's a good signing, and I think we signed him at a very fair price. He's a slightly different profile to Jax. He's more physical. He's a bully. And I think he's a little bit more direct in terms of the runs he makes. He's a proper striker. That's the way I look at Delap. But as for Jackson, I like him. I think he's certainly got something to add to this squad. But if he's starting as many games this coming season as he did, in the Premier League so far under Maresca, then I think that I think we've got a real problem because we can't count on Jackson to carry this team on his shoulders. He's shown that actually, he can't get 20 goals a season, even when he plays week in, week out. And we had the game against Newcastle when he got sent off, for elbowing Dan Burn. I think that, if anything, that's shown us that we need to lean on someone else. And Delap hopefully can share that burden. So we don't need one striker to score 30 goals, but if both of them can chip in with 10, 15, then, that would be a lot better.
TalkSport Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the TalkSport app and on your smart speaker. TalkSport.